My name is Emily. My mother moved in with us after my father died. I thought she was lonely. I didn't realize she was stealing my husband. Our house was always a happy place. It was a small house with a big garden. My husband, Mark, and I built it together. We painted the walls. We planted the flowers. It was our home. It was our dream. We had a simple life, but it was a good life. We were happy. When my father passed away, a piece of my heart went with him. My mother Sarah was all alone in their big house. The house was full of memories. It was too quiet for her. I could hear the sadness in her voice on the phone. Emily, she would say, the silence is so loud. My heart ached for her, so I asked her to come live with us. Mark agreed immediately. He was always a kind man. Of course, he said, she is your mother. She is my family, too. He hugged me. I felt so lucky. I had a good husband. I thought we could help my mother. We could make her happy again. The first few weeks were nice. My mother brought a new energy to our home. She cooked amazing meals. Her chicken soup tasted like my childhood. Mark loved it. Sarah, this is the best soup I have ever had, he would say. My mother would smile. A real happy smile. I was glad to see it. It felt good to have her here. It felt like a family. She helped in the garden. My mother always had a magic touch with plants. Soon, our garden was more beautiful than ever. There were red roses and yellow sunflowers. They were bright and cheerful, just like my mother was becoming. Mark would stand by the window and watch her work. Your mother is amazing, he said to me one day. I smiled and agreed. Yes, she is. I was proud of her. I was happy they were getting along so well. I thought it was a blessing. I was so wrong. Things started to change slowly. So slowly I did not notice at first. It was like the sun setting. One moment it is light. Then it gets a little darker and a little darker. Before you know it, the night has come. It started with small things, little jokes between Mark and my mother. I would walk into the kitchen. They would be laughing together. I would ask, "What's so funny?" Mark would shake his head. "Oh, it's nothing. Just a silly thing your mother said." My mother would just smile. They had a secret world. I was not a part of it. At first, I thought it was sweet. It was their special bond. Then they started spending more time together alone. My mother loved to walk in the park in the evening. I was usually tired after work. I wanted to sit and relax. Mark used to relax with me. We would watch a movie or talk. But now he started going with my mother. "I'll take your mom for her walk," he would say. "You rest, honey." It sounded so kind. He was being a good son-in-law. That is what I told myself. But they would be gone for a long time. They would come back talking and laughing. Their faces were bright. They looked happy, happier than I had seen them in a long time. I would be waiting on the sofa. The house would feel empty without them. When they returned, the house was full of their energy. I felt like a ghost in my own home. One night, I decided to go with them. I said, "I will come too. I need some fresh air." Mark looked surprised. My mother's smile faded a little. "Are you sure, dear?" she asked. "You look so tired." I said I was sure. The walk was strange. It was quiet. The easy laughter between them was gone. I walked beside Mark. My mother walked a little ahead. We were 3 people, but we felt like 2 separate groups. I felt a wall between us. It was a cold and invisible wall. After that, I did not go with them again. My birthday was in the summer. I always loved my birthday. Mark always made it special. He would make my favorite breakfast. He would buy me flowers. This year, he did those things. He gave me a beautiful scarf. It was lovely, but something felt different. It felt like he was just doing what he was supposed to do. His heart was not in it. Later that day, we had a small party, Just the three of us. My mother made a wonderful cake. After we ate, Mark gave my mother a small box. I was surprised. It was not her birthday. "What is this?" she asked, her eyes wide. "Just a little something," Mark said, "to thank you for being here, for making our home so bright." My mother opened the box. Inside was a beautiful silver locket. It was delicate and shiny. It looked expensive, much more expensive than my scarf. My mother gasped. "Oh, Mark," she said, "it's beautiful. You shouldn't have." He smiled at her. It was a soft, warm smile. A smile I had not seen him give me in a long time. "You deserve it, Sarah," he said. I sat there watching them. My heart felt like a stone in my chest. It was my birthday, but it felt like her celebration. I tried to smile. I said, "It's beautiful, Mom." But my voice was small. Later that night, I asked Mark about the locket. "It was very expensive, Mark." He looked annoyed. "She is your mother, Emily. I wanted to do something nice for her. Why are you making this a problem?" I did not have an answer. I just felt a deep cold sadness. Maybe you know that feeling. The feeling that something is wrong, but you cannot explain it. You feel it in your bones. The late night talks started after that. I would go to bed early. I was often tired. Tired from work, but also tired from feeling sad. I would wake up in the middle of the night. The bed beside me would be empty. I would get up and walk quietly through the dark house. I would see a light in the living room. I would hear their voices, soft whispering. I would stand in the shadows of the hallway. I would listen. I could not hear the words clearly, but I could hear the tone. It was gentle. It was intimate. They were sharing secrets in the dark. One night, I heard my mother laugh softly. It was a happy, girlish laugh. I had not heard her laugh like that in years. Not even when my father was alive. A terrible feeling washed over me. It was fear. Pure fear. This was not right. This was not a mother and a son-in-law. This was something else. I went back to bed. My body was shaking. I pretended to be asleep when Mark came back into the room. He smelled like my mother's perfume, the one she wore every day. I closed my eyes and cried in silence. I decided to talk to my mother. It was the hardest thing I have ever had to do. I found her in the garden. She was watering the roses. She looked so peaceful. "Mom," I said. My voice was trembling. "We need to talk." She put down the watering can. She looked at me with her calm blue eyes. "What is it, sweetheart?" I took a deep breath. "What is going on between you and Mark?" The words felt ugly in my mouth. Her face changed. The calmness was gone. She looked hurt, offended. "What are you talking about, Emily? He is your husband. I am your mother." Tears filled her eyes. "How can you think such a thing after everything I have gone through? Your father is gone. I am all alone. Mark has been kind to me. He has been a son to me. And this is what you think?" She started to cry. Big heartbreaking sobs. I felt terrible. I felt like a monster. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe my sadness was making me crazy. I hugged her. "I'm sorry, Mom," I whispered. "I'm so sorry. I am just confused." She held me tight. "It's okay, my child," she said. "You are just stressed." But as I held her, I still smelled that perfume. The same one that was on Mark last night. And I knew in my heart I was not wrong. After that conversation, things got worse. They were more careful. They did not talk late at night anymore. Or if they did, I did not hear them. But the distance between Mark and me grew wider. We lived in the same house. We slept in the same bed, but we were like two strangers. He stopped telling me about his day. He stopped asking about mine. We talked about the weather. We talked about what to have for dinner. We never talked about us. I felt so alone. It is a strange feeling to be lonely in your own home, to be lonely next to the person you love. I started to feel like I was the guest and they were the couple. My mother took over the cooking completely. She redecorated the living room. "It needs a woman's touch," she said, smiling at Mark. He agreed with everything she did. He loved everything she did. I felt like I was disappearing. I was becoming invisible in my own life. I would sit with them at dinner. They would talk about their day, their walks, their garden. I would just eat my food in silence. Sometimes Mark would look at me. He would see the sadness in my eyes. "Are you okay, Emily?" he would ask. The question felt empty. He did not really want to know. My mother would answer for me. "She is just tired. She works too hard." And that would be the end of it. I needed proof. I needed something real. I felt like I was losing my mind. Was this all in my head? Was I a bad daughter, a jealous wife? I started to doubt myself. It's okay to feel that way sometimes. It's okay to feel scared and unsure, but you have to trust your feelings. Your heart knows the truth, even when your mind is confused. The proof came on a rainy afternoon. Mark was at work. My mother went out to buy groceries. I was alone in the house. I don't know why I did it. I had never gone through Mark's things before. I trusted him, but that trust was a broken thing now. I went into our bedroom. I opened the drawer next to his side of the bed. It was full of socks and old papers. I dug deeper. At the very bottom, under everything, I found a small wooden box. My hands were shaking as I opened it. Inside, there were a few things. An old photo of his dog from when he was a boy, a ticket from our first movie together, and a folded piece of paper. It was new. I unfolded it. It was a letter. It was Mark's handwriting. My heart stopped. The letter was not for me. It started with "My dearest Sarah." I read the words. Each word was a knife in my heart. He wrote about her eyes. He wrote about her smile. He wrote about how she understood him. "I feel alive when I am with you." He wrote, "Emily is a good person, but she is a child. You are a woman. You have shown me what real connection is. I feel like I have known you forever." The letter ended with, "I don't know what to do, but I know I cannot live without you." I sat on the floor holding the letter. The rain was hitting the window. It sounded like the world was crying with me. Everything was real. The whispers, the secret smiles, the locket, it was all real. My husband was in love with my mother. And my mother had let it happen. She had welcomed it. I felt a strange calm come over me. The confusion was gone. The doubt was gone. All that was left was a cold, hard certainty. And a pain so deep I thought it would break me. I put the letter in my pocket. I knew what I had to do. When they both came home, I was waiting for them in the living room. I told them to sit down. They looked at me confused. They saw the look on my face. They knew something was wrong. I did not shout. I did not cry. My voice was very quiet, very calm. "I need to ask you something," I said. "And I want you to tell me the truth." I looked at Mark. "Are you in love with my mother?" He could not look at me. He stared at the floor. He said nothing. Then I looked at my mother. Her face was pale. "Mom," I asked, "tell me the truth." She started to cry. "Emily, it's not what you think. It's complicated." "It is not complicated," I said. My voice was stronger now. I stood up. I took the letter out of my pocket. I put it on the table between them. I read this. "It seems very simple to me." Mark finally looked up. He saw the letter. His face was full of shame. My mother stopped crying. There was silence in the room. A terrible heavy silence. The only sound was the clock on the wall. Tick, tock. It was counting the seconds of my life that was falling apart. Finally, Mark spoke. "Emily, I'm so sorry." His voice was a whisper. "I never wanted to hurt you." My mother said, We never meant for this to happen. I was so lonely and he was so kind. I listened to their words, their excuses, but they were just noise. The truth was on the table in that letter, in their eyes. They had betrayed me. The two people I loved most in the world, my husband and my mother. I want you to leave, I said to my mother. Her head shot up. What? I looked at her. The woman who gave birth to me, the woman I had tried to comfort. You need to leave this house tonight. She started to protest. But where will I go? That is not my problem anymore, I said. My heart was frozen. I could not feel anything for her. Not sadness, not pity, nothing. Then I looked at Mark. And I said you need to leave too. I need space. I need to think. He nodded slowly. I understand. He said he did not fight. He did not argue. He just packed a small bag. My mother packed her things. The house was filled with the sounds of their leaving, the closing of drawers, the zipping of bags. My mother tried to hug me at the door. I stepped back. I could not let her touch me. She looked at me one last time. Her eyes were full of tears. I love you, Emily, she said. The words meant nothing to me now. Then she was gone. Mark stood in the doorway. I will always love you, Emily, he said. I just got lost. I looked at him, the man I had shared my dreams with. Goodbye, Mark, I said, and I closed the door. And then I was alone. The house was quiet, too quiet. The silence was loud again, just like my mother had said. I walked through the empty rooms. I looked at the garden my mother had made so beautiful. It felt like a lie. Everything felt like a lie. The first few weeks were the hardest. I cried a lot. I felt a pain that was physical. My chest hurt. I could not eat. I could not sleep. I felt broken. Completely and utterly broken. Have you ever felt that way? Like your world has ended. It is a dark and lonely place. But I want to tell you something. The sun always rises again. Always. Slowly, very slowly, I started to heal. I started with the house. I needed it to be my home again. I moved the furniture. I painted the living room a new color, a bright, happy yellow. I took out all the roses my mother had planted. I planted my own flowers, simple, strong wild flowers. I started to spend time with my friends. They listened to my story. They did not judge me. They just sat with me. They brought me food. They made me laugh. It is so important to have good friends. They are the family you choose. I started to find myself again. I had been a wife. I had been a daughter. I had forgotten how to just be Emily. I started doing things I loved. I started painting again. I went for long walks by myself. I learned to enjoy the silence. It was not a sad silence anymore. It was a peaceful silence. One day, Mark called me. He wanted to talk. We met at a coffee shop. He looked older. He looked tired. He told me he and my mother were not together. He said it was a mistake. A terrible mistake born from loneliness and confusion. He asked me to forgive him. He asked for another chance. I looked at him. I saw the man I had once loved so deeply. A part of me still loved him. But I also saw the man who had broken my trust. Trust is like a mirror. Once it is broken, you can put the pieces back together. But you can always see the cracks. I told him I forgave him. Forgiveness is a gift you give to yourself. It sets you free from the anger. But I told him I could not go back. I could not be his wife again. The old me was gone. The old us was gone. He cried. I did not. I felt sad for him, but I felt strong for myself. My mother wrote me a letter, a long letter. She told me how sorry she was, how much she missed me. I have not answered it yet. I don't know if I ever will. Some wounds are too deep. Maybe one day, but not today. My life is different now. It is not the simple happy life I had before. It is more complicated. But it is my life. I am stronger now. The pain did not break me. It made me. I learned that I can survive. I learned that I am enough. Sometimes I still feel sad. I miss the family I thought I had. But then I look around my little yellow room. I look at my beautiful wild garden and I feel a sense of peace. I am okay. I will be okay. Life is full of challenges. People will disappoint you. Your heart will get broken. That is a part of living. But you will also find joy. You will find strength. You will find friends who love you. You can build a new life, a life that is all your own. It is okay to feel scared. It is okay to be sad. But never forget how strong you are. You can get through anything. You can do this. You can heal. And you can be happy again. Just keep going. One day at a time. The sun will rise for you, too.